For 15 years, Goldie has been an icon of electronic music. A pioneering legend of drum and bass, king of an underground culture.
I love this music. That's what makes us different from everyone else. We haven't even party out.
But now, Goldie's electronic world of samples and drum beats is about to collide with the classical world of instruments, musicians, and notes on a page in a journey into the art of composing. Goldie stormed the citadel of the classical music world when he took up the conductor's baton in the BBC Two series Maestro. Despite never having learnt an instrument or to read music, he wowed the judges with his innate musicality.
Well, this guy's a conductor. It's disgraceful, he can't even read music.
You're a natural.
The music is pouring out of every pore, and it was so exciting to watch. You're totally a front runner for this.
Now Goldie has a new challenge, a challenge that will place him in the ultimate arena of classical music, the Proms, the greatest classical music festival in the world. But not as a conductor. The director of the Proms, Roger Wright, has invited Goldie to test his musical talents as a composer.
I don't know with Goldie whether actually I know that there's an issue about how much he reads music, and obviously that got thrown up in Maestro. I mean, clearly, being a fantastic musician, this is a separate challenge for him. You know, I mean, he's shown that he can conduct in the way that he can.
I guess what you're saying, actually teaching Goldie what the rudiments of composing would be part of the deal.
Dear Goldie. No way. You have been invited by the director of the BBC Proms, Roger Wright, to compose a piece of music to be performed by the BBC Concert Orchestra in the Family Prom on the 1st of August at the Royal Albert Hall.
Goodness.
Your composition should be about 6 to 7 minutes duration and reflect the theme of the Family Proms, which is on the subject of evolution. Good luck. That's good. I like that. There you have it.
My goodness.
You're all nervous now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am quite nervous.
I'm really nervous now.
To help him in this challenge, Goldie has been reunited with his mentor from Maestro, the conductor, Ivor Setterfield.
Sounds extremely difficult.
It seems very difficult. Having the BBC Concert Orchestra and being able to... The language, you know that language. I don't still, right?
Yeah. Your idea starts off as a sound, and then we have to translate that sound into what's possible for those instruments.
The Proms has been premiering new music for more than a century. Goldie's commission puts him alongside Elgar, Mahler and Schoenberg, as well as established composers of today. But whereas most composers spend a lifetime studying music theory and mastering the complexities of orchestration, Goldie will have just 6 months to come up with a score to be performed by the 80 members of the BBC Concert Orchestra, conducted by Charles Hazelwood.
Exciting. Eek. Daunting. But, you know, challenging, I think. Very, very challenging. But I'm going to meet Roger now and have a word and see what they want and what I want as well, you know?
Hi, Goldie. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Good.
You said yes to the challenge.
Yes. I think I can handle it, and I also think that it will kind of develop some side of me that I think has been niggling at me to do that.
This is an open invitation for you, to do the sort of piece that you really want to write. I mean, it's great that it's the BBC Concert Orchestra.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got a a good contact to them already.
It is.
But the difference here is going to be that, of course, there will be a conductor.
So I'm not conducting this bit, I'm just composing the piece.
Yeah. I thought
That's a let-off then.
but I thought it was really important that you didn't conduct it, actually, because I think, you know, for you to learn what it's like to be a composer for a piece for orchestra and maybe for choir...
That's even better then.
It's a different relationship.
Well, that's really made me feel a whole lot more relieved.
Not content with regular DJ gigs all over Europe and composing a piece for the proms, Goldie is also preparing for an exhibition of his paintings.
That's perfect. I'm just getting ready for this art show in April. I'm just sanding it. What I've done is I've used like a filler. Shush! Get out! Get out of there. I'm doing a... Get out. I'm just getting a nice textured background.
After a tough childhood spent in care, in the 1980s, Goldie channeled his rebellious energies into graffiti, making his name on the streets of first Wolverhampton and Birmingham, and then New York.
It's more accepted now as well. Graffiti art now, you know, it's accepted. Street art's accepted. It never was. You know, 30 years ago, they used to chase us for doing this stuff, and now they want it in galleries, which is, you know, it's great. Come on, boys. Out, 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 out. People have to understand that, you know, graffiti's learned me so much about life in general, just in its complexity, its letter form, in its communication. If you can do graffiti and you can do it well, you can do absolutely anything. You can really do any other form of art, you can do anything. And I think electronic music with drum and bass, you know, if you can make this genre of music, you can make any other genre of music you like, really.
In the 90s, Goldie turned to music. Still inhabiting the underground, he helped to pioneer a new sound, drum and bass.
I feel more at peace now than I did 10 years ago. I used to be trouble, man. I used to be just too much trouble, you know, like just not being positive with my life. It wasn't a good thing. If it wasn't for music and art, I really would be lost. And I think that I do get down, like, you know, and I'm in my own kind of artist kind of thing, you know. I go into like a real dark place sometimes and I just can't get out, and I'm just fighting myself, you know, from past and all kinds of stuff. But then when I really pick myself up and I'm at my lowest, I make music. That is the fucking bollocks, that is.
With the music he writes today, Goldie continues to explore the world of electronic sound. He works with an engineer in his home studio, compiling and layering sampled sounds in a computer. There's not an instrument in sight.
That's better. Bring it down and save it.
Do you think you're going to be going through the same sort of process when you compose for the big orchestra?
Yeah, definitely. I'm already going through that process in my head because I was looking for the Pixie-Carsols this morning. It's going to be really interesting, and also to get that big kettle drum sound as well. And it's a sound that the orchestra already have. So I need to go with my strengths as opposed to my weaknesses. I'm kind of subconsciously going. I'm trying to avoid starting this thing, but I'm probably already have, and I don't realise it. So that's great. It's thinking music, you know. It's music you make when you're thinking about making music. This is like Train Spotter.
Saying I'm sad.
This is really sad. Everything's named. You know that geezer in that film, you know the one the guy goes, "You've never touched my records! The rock section doesn't go in the indie section! How dare you put the Who with the Kinks?"
Your music, what you're famous for is taking something like Timeless, which starts off slow and then having suddenly this.
But now Goldie has to make the transition from electronic sounds to real instruments. With Ivor's help, he's embarking on a crash course in the sounds and possibilities of a symphony orchestra.
I just wanted you to know that your music is complicated. Timeless is really complicated. I want you to write your music, not what you think is classical music. I think what you need to do is make this hard for the orchestra, particularly and play to their strengths, because they're brilliant people, these people. Right. I'll put this piece on anyway, but it's fast. You might like this. This piece and the idea of it has got so much rhythm in it, and the orchestra are playing really tricky lines, and they're all layered on top of each other. These are real people playing these notes together at the same time. It means that you would have a sort of, almost like your really fast electronic music could work.
Nice.
Fabulous.
It's a good piece.
As well as an orchestra, Goldie has the option of using a choir.
This is a vocal effect. It's just the way the voices can be used.
Love this already. Love this already.
The whole piece is amazing.
It's just voices.
This is only a single
I love
choir.
it straight away.
Can you hear all those harmonics bouncing off it?
Totally. But I'm thinking about being really cheeky though, making a kind of vocal type thing, but actually translating it to Latin.
You've got this. Is it tempus? What's
Sine
your?
Tempore.
Yeah, that's
Sine Tempore.
That's also Latin, isn't it?
With that time, yeah. I'm fascinated by it though. I'm fascinated with Latin.
Well, why don't you call it a Sine Tempus? Evolution without time. I mean, it's just
good idea.
It's one. It's. I mean, and it's already part.
It's already part of me, isn't it?
Yeah. Sine Tempus.
Sine Tempus. Yeah.
Listen. The other thing that we haven't really thought about yet is we do have access to the organ in the Albert Hall. Now, the organ in the Albert Hall is the only thing I've ever heard that's as loud as your music. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I like to hear it, yeah. You just play them with your feet. That's right. I'm at Head Candy stage.
This organ is capable of completely obliterating any symphony orchestra.
To do, I don't know if this is okay for Goldie to do. I remember the first time I actually sat at this organ and actually, it's a completely strange feeling. So if we get you set up on a chord, do you agree?
Yeah,
it's a good thing to do.
How do you learn this, man? This is unbelievable.
I'm still learning.
This is unbelievable.
We need to sort out a nice chord.
Yeah.
Whoa! Don't touch it. definitely.
Quite definitely. How do you go about writing something like that?
I would suggest you specify the dynamic.
If you want it loud, let the organist put loud. If you want it quiet, put quiet.
Yeah.
But you don't need to. You don't need to have the knowledge of all these.
Basically, dynamics.
It's phenomenal. The building moves, and because you don't appreciate how big a sound it must be to fill this building.
Yeah. Can I like hear it just in one chord, like a stab almost?
So if you could use that. Great, thank you. Can you demonstrate what you can do with the swell pedal in terms of fading sound?
You look like Captain Zoltar in a spaceship.
This is closed.
That's closed.
You close them open a bit.
Love it. I am so gonna have you out on that organ. That's unbelievable. Sounded like the beginning of a sci-fi movie. I was just I'm a rise.
Quite dark, isn't it? Yeah. I think your piece might be quite scary.
We're in danger of giving everyone a hard hat.
Well, I think that's good. I'd like you to scare the audience. I think they're not scared often enough.
It's exactly what I mean. Because that's exactly what it is. What I think now, I'm photographing it all the time, and to me, even though it's going to be part of the Big Bang, I really think that the organ's going to have a massive piece in this. I'm really thinking about this piece of music, and really, I just think I want it to be upbeat. I want it to be hearty, and not so much the depths of despair of my soul, if you like. You know what I mean? Because it can be a pretty dark place, my soul. Sometimes it can be pretty hairy. You know what I mean? I think it needs to celebrate rebirth, and I think evolution. That's what the piece is. So I've got that going around in my head at the minute. Oh, I think I've lived in the past for far too long. Essentially, this last 2 years has been about letting go. Even as I'm speaking now, I've already gone, oh my God, that, with pizzicatos, with a vocal to it, with the words, with something that really means something, which is the closure to when it first began. So it's all ready. I think we're off.
To extract the musical ideas from his head, Goldie will need help. He'll have a series of workshops to explore this new musical palette and to turn sounds into notes.
Can you play this?
I mean, the exact timing's going to be...
Okay.
And then... And then... It goes to that, there's maybe an A as well.
Could you try and play from here with dark parallel harmonies? Might be quite interesting. I'm liking these.
Yeah.
I like that one as well.
I like that as well a lot.
I mean, that's just basically it's basically
parallel. They're parallel chords.
Parallel fifths with added ninths.
I realise how much harmony I've got going on in my head, and it's not. It's just single notes, but they are in my head a harmony, which is the difference between able to work out, fifths and nines. It's like it's foreign to me. It's like what?
Can you play those descending scales in those dark chords we had before?
Yep.
And then I'm going to sing G, boom, 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 2. There's a lot involved, and that's becoming very apparent that there's a lot involved. But putting it together will be quite difficult. Putting it together also in a way where he's satisfied with it. There are two main challenges. First of all, is to try and get his ideas into something with a structure. But the other thing is then to actually to learn how to orchestrate it.
That's it though. That's it though.
And then to get some sounds, complete world of new sounds that he's not used to writing his music for. So what are the brass going to do? What are the wind going to do? What's the percussion going to do? What are the strings going to do? And how are they going to mix together?
I feel the engine. Remember it.
It's already March, and Goldie's meeting up with his old friends from Maestro, the BBC Concert Orchestra, who'll also perform his piece at the Proms.
I'm trying to work out what the range of those things are and how low some of those instruments can go.
One of the key skills of any composer is to understand the range and sounds of all the instruments. This is something that would normally take years to master. Goldie has just 3 hours.
Loud and soft. Do you want to hear the quietest note it'll play?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it again?
It's really sharp with that.
Mute it.
Can you do a long note and change and turn that pitch into that long note of that?
I think he went away from like a kid in a sweet shop with his head spinning because there was just a huge range of stuff that perhaps he hadn't even envisaged that some of those instruments could do.
So if you were to think of an emotional sound, like a really haunting solo, it's a very good instrument to do that. Is it possible that we could just have a string chord, say of G minor or something? Actually, it's beautiful.
It just works together.
What I want you to start thinking of is certain things really make you feel very different, and that brings out something magic about that sound in combination.
Yeah. Can I hear a sharp note coming in? So clear, isn't it?
Okay. And you know, that was just.
Sorry, I'm just...
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah. I think we're definitely using one of these.
Well, you need to know a bit about how it works.
Yeah.
You need time on it to move your hands. Quite modern and aggressive. I mean, you can do a...
My mind started going around. I thought, you know what? I just want to do what I do for my side of music.
Yeah.
In the way that I put strings together synthetically, but to get you guys to play and get the orchestra to feel that out, because I think it's more exciting as well.
Any orchestral piece you write, I mean, you can ask for 2 identical solo lines, which it's quite a special effect, really. So it's almost as if you've got a sort of flanging.
That's like a flange. That's what I would call it. In my music, that would be a yes. We do a lot of gating as well. It's one thing that I've always been synonymous with. That's it. Yeah, that would be okay.
Do you have to write it out?
In the score, yes.
You have to understand the concept of crotchets and quavers and things like that, which I know is a bit sort of
dodgy for me.
To you.
My dyslexia. That's where my dyslexic crotchet thing kicks in. Yeah, definitely.
But that's how.
We're doing a whistle.
That's what we understand.
A word, yeah.
And if you write it out in that, we can do it.
I think that people that play instruments are the most fascinating creatures on the planet. If I was a player and I played an instrument, it wouldn't be torturous, would it? I'd be going, okay, let's play it. Hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I play it. And that's my journey, not being able to play that piece of music. I think that's one thing I learned from the orchestra. Everyone in that orchestra plays, but not every one of them can make a record. A composition in their own right.
Well, I have to say that I'm quite worried at the moment. I don't see that we've made a lot of progress up to now, but we've got some interesting sounds, and we've now met the orchestra, and I think we've got more of an idea of the sounds that are possible for them. What I think the session did most of all was just highlight the fact that we're coming at this project from completely different angles. My worry was that how are we going to get those two worlds to meet?
You're not asking a bricklayer to write a piece of music. You're asking somebody who does have a musical background. I suspect maybe some of the sounds that he tries to create, maybe they'll come with completely fresh ears and they'll be completely different and come up with some wonderful suggestions. Whether he's done it on his own or with help, I don't know. We wait to see how it all pans out.
Time is ticking away. It's now April, and Goldie has been distracted from his composing by the opening of his art exhibition.
Oh, you put that up as well? It looks amazing. The two, these are great.
Yeah, they're in the 20.
Yeah, it's really nice. This was really getting back to my roots, really, because this was basically a kind of representation of what I used to do and still have the ability to do, which is like a wild-style Goldie outline, which is representative. I think I told you about this with the speakers, which is sonic, which is music and art, two things that I do. This piece is probably one of the darkest pieces in here, which probably people won't get, but that's really. For many years, I'd always felt like I was the kind of whipping post of, or the whipping boy of there's this kid that's pushing the music, this drum and bass star, this guy out there, every front cover, all these other things. So I was the first guy to get the hassle, if you like, all of that media, exposure and everything else, because I wanted to, because I spent my entire, from 3 till 18 being in children's homes and care, so I was pretty resilient to any of that. So when the media came along with all my, the explosion in the 90s, I can deal with this, it's easy. It's a room full of geezers with speakers and microphones, and it's not like you're getting beat around a house by a foster parent who's angry, do you know what I mean? So it's pretty easy. So I think I need to push myself out there, and this was really, after years and years of that, I decided, right, I wanted to do a self-portrait, so I decided to do a coming-of-age picture, which was basically, just as a clown, this joke isn't funny anymore. Just wanted to kill that clown, really. I shall put it over there. Put it on there, mate. Gotcha! I got him with the foam brick. Always playing around, always. Oh, this brick's heavy. I'll just give him a little fling of this. Yeah, if it goes wrong, I could do these projects, and imagine me at the problems, and it's just really bad. I just go, oh, forget it then. I don't think I'll quite do that. These in particular are really very personal pieces. And it's a poem about my youth of being in a children's home. Stop the fucking noise, but I won't shut up. I fucking belong here. Time for dinner. Wash your hands for dinner. Wash your hands for dinner. Make sure you say grace. Let them know how fucking thankful we are. If you behave yourself, you may be allowed to play your fucking music. So what's it going to be, T-Rex or the Stranglers? Saturday morning, pocket money. 10 number 6 and a packet of crisps. Save your change for a 45 disc Stranglers white vinyl at 33. When I get old, will they remember me? Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. I heard that somewhere. I feel like I'm gonna fall over today and really hurt myself. I can really see it. I can almost wish it. I can see my home from here, but I don't know how to get there. I can see my home from here, but I just don't know how to get there. Ask me where the hell I'm going, 1,000 feet per second. Diary of the defunct, diary of the monk, my diary from hell. Sorry for the bad words. Pretty intense, huh? Yeah.
Do you remember that clearly?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the time, yeah. Quite clearly. I remember that, you know. It was good. Well, it wasn't good, it was bad. But it's good being able to remember it. I was really angry then, really angry, okay?
Was that time of your life come out in a lot of your music as well?
Yeah, probably. The aggression of the music, probably, most definitely, yeah, I would have thought so. The anger of the music, I guess, yeah. I think I've seemed to have tamed the beast over the years. Most definitely. But the influence of music, even from old and new, you know, music's always been there. You know, Jean-Jacques Brel, The Stranglers, Radiohead, 1,000 feet per second, you know, falling. They're all quotes from records that really mean a lot to me, you know, it's good. Yeah, I felt like a bit of a monk when I was a kid. Yeah, I always felt like a monk. Some kid just sitting there, just writing, you know, always trying to do stuff. Lonely as a monk.
We're going to sing your bit now.
What, you write down?
Yeah, we got it on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I was with Ivor last night, listening to his choir, which is quite amazing, actually, to listen to his choir. I found that really interesting.
I'd like to introduce you to Goldie.
To help Goldie get a sense of how it will sound, Ivor has notated Goldie's melody so his choir can try it out.
I heard him sing this basic thing, which is the basic melody. Just based on my melody, this massive sound. So somewhere in there, a section of that choir can now sing the actual text, if you like, and it'll be able to move around female to male. That's what I'm thinking. I can see it now. I can feel it, if you like. So I'm really, really feeling for it. I feel like I'm a bit of a blind man in a room, and I'm just keep brushing past people. I need to grab them a little bit. And I just kind of feel like that's what's happening at the moment in the creative process. I can just feel me, just get somebody brush by me and I just would grab them for a second and then release them. And it's like, I'm going to grab them soon and open my eyes. And it'll probably be next week I'll start opening my eyes and going, right, gotcha.
You wrote that?
Yeah.
Do you recognise it?
Yeah, I recognise that.
we could do things with it, but
That's really, that's a great start. That's definitely going to get some layers in there now.
Yeah.
I want to be harmonious. I'm at the point in my life now where I want harmony. I don't want to fight anymore. I need harmony. I really want some harmony, and I want people to celebrate that. Someone to turn around from a drum bass perspective, turn around to some geezer in a suit who goes to classical concerts and go, that was good, wasn't it? That was completely unbelievable. And the one thing that I want people to know is that I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I always have done. I think it's my curse, you know, mate. It's my curse not being able to write notes down on a piece of paper and have everything strewn around in my head.
Yeah, but you're
it's such a curse, mate. I'll tell you it is.
Tell you what, though, it's you're coinciding with technology catching up. So technology now won't rely on people writing things down exactly.
No.
The very fact that for a long time it was a disadvantage means now it's not so much.
No, it's not.
If you can sing it, someone can play.
Oh yeah, totally. Okay.
It's time to put pen to paper, but not knowing how to write music, Goldie's first step is a graphical sketch of his piece.
These are the counterpoints that are overlapping, playing the same thing. And then here is the low, real low, is playing over that's counterpoint too. And then here is like a sheared percussion. We get like a silence.
So it stops for a minute.
It stops, it's like a fraction. But then here, we've got the starts of the percussion, the pizzicato here. We have a section where we get a complicated, even if it's a rhythmatic, and different sections playing off each other.
Yeah.
It becomes warfare between the orchestra. We want to separate them all and make them play off each other. Let's make them work to death. But that really then would be the start of drums. It's the different time signatures. You've got a section which is really, really driving, and then really from here, one section, joining the drums, making it even wider there.
So this is your loud bit.
This is like the choir, if you like. Yeah. Here, you got the choir there.
Yeah.
You got 2 minutes full on, like a minute and a half. Close your 30 seconds. There's your rough guide to the galaxy. Piano notes here, and then expanding it out and into this pizzicatos and with a choir, and expanding into a horn section. I mean, is it pretty much similar to? Well, this looks a bit more.
Armed with his sketch, Goldie now has the opportunity to learn from an established composer.
So, I mean, every piece, I do, always has like a timeline. This is my proms piece of...
Ivor has taken him to meet Anna Meredith, who studied at the Royal College of Music. She's written works for, among others, the London Symphony Orchestra, the BBC Philharmonic, and in 2008 was commissioned to write a piece for the last night of the proms. Her composition, called Froms, featured 4 separate orchestras and 2 choirs, all playing at the same time in venues around the country. A true test of composing technique.
Did you know what this was going to sound like?
Yeah.
Wow.
Traditionally, you might expect composers had, done music A level, and then maybe you would have gone on to university or music college, studied 3 or 4 years, probably got to know how instruments work, written some small pieces initially for solos or duets or string quartets, that kind of thing, and then maybe gone on to a postgrad where it becomes more specific, conservatoire, for example. I mean, I studied for 7 years, so it can be quite a long process. Or you can just go for it in the deep end. And the bit for me, kind of is a bit jealous that he's just been able to just go for it.
As Goldie watches Anna's piece, the enormity of the challenge he's facing is dawning on him.
Wow. Oh, well done.
Very good.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, that's really unbelievable. Amazing.
Take a bow now.
I am looking at
No way. You're gonna go. Hey! It's amazing. So how did you? You gave him these chords.
So I would have taken, say a really simple one like that one, which only has one. So actually, it's only got 4 different separate notes in it. Which actually, if you put them next to each other, it's just that. It's just that, but it sounds a bit nicer if you space the. You know, if you put this note down there, it sounds a bit nicer. And then I would have thought, okay, who can play that note? That could be these instruments. Who could play that note? That could be these instruments. You know, maybe I'll double some stuff. I thought that might sound nice. You know, thinking.
But you're thinking in a whole other. This is mind blowing to me. You're thinking in a whole other.
Getting to that point of working out what the actual notes are is like a whole extra stage away. For me, it's like about planning the piece, getting the ideas, trying to work out something that's going to be an exciting kind of story or narrative.
Is this a kind of sketch of the drama?
Yeah, it's basically the sound, how I want the sound bit to be. I want to try and have this really big, massive sound at the beginning.
Is it alright if we like break each section down?
Yeah.
So this is like a big chord, a big starting chord that then maybe like some parts go right through and other ones drop out and you're left with one note?
Yeah, left with one note. This is before man was around, and then mankind comes on the scene.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily harmonious at the beginning, you know what I mean? It's almost as if you get this whole thing with evolution.
So we arrive at this big chord.
Yeah.
And you know, you're seeing it's a big like percussive sort of explosion here at halfway point.
It's got to be quite big because it's really the main part of the evolution, right?
Is it like a ba or is it like a da 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 da? You know, does it arrive in a rhythm?
It's more down.
You know, does it have to be percussion? Could you have that rhythm in percussive strings? Could that be a you know, does it
right.
have to be?
I never thought about
Does it
that.
have to be? You know,
No, it doesn't have to be.
I think you could really take your time, but maybe if the beat comes in quietly, maybe it's just one solid build from, you know, that's only 2 minutes. And if you want it to sound quite epic, then in some ways it's not going to sound that epic if you just kind of go, you just swell into it suddenly. You've got to kind of lay the foundations for something. Do you know what I mean?
When you've got that part, you say you're big climbers, you then really go back and actually write the notes for it anyway, don't you?
I might sit on the piano, or I might sing it. I mean, the frustrating bit is that if you say something like, and then I have a bit that goes, it's very easy to sing, but to actually work out what to do.
What is it? That's probably what the biggest problem I have.
Yeah.
It's daunting, but yeah. You see, if I was at home on a computer and my engineer, I'd just go, right, it'd be easy.
Yeah. Always keep a step back from it and think, you know, the stuff you said about the shapes and the ideas and the sort of evolution is I think much more important than what does flute 2 do at this stage. And if next time I saw you, you could go, all right, and this bit goes, and this bit goes, and this bit goes, I think that'd be really good.
That would be a lot of progress.
Yeah, because then you seriously, sing it. You have to sing me the piece next time.
Yeah, okay.
The challenge for me is getting down to the essence of what is the piece. Obviously, he's very creative, very musical guy. Just, you know, looking at his back catalogue of stuff, you know he's going to have lots of ideas. I wasn't sure if he would be completely aware of some of the challenges in terms of the technical challenges of writing a piece. You know, writing your first fully notated piece for an orchestra for the proms is a big leap.
As I say, if you can sing it or draw it or however you want to get it down so that you know what's, you know, like a spread out version of that over 4 bits of A4 or A3 lined up together with as much detail as you can.
That is your homework.
That's homework. Oh. I gave Goldie homework.
Continuing Goldie's immersion in classical music, Ivor is taking him to his first ever orchestral concert.
Here we are at the Barbican. We're going to see Big Val, or Valery Gergiev, to those who don't know him.
He's your mate, isn't he?
Well, I'm his pupil, yes. I was his pupil when I studied, but he's probably one of the most exciting conductors in the world. When Gergiev conducts particularly music from his own country, the kind of approach to music has a real similarity with how Goldie, if you ever watch Goldie DJing, there's a real directness and raw approach that they both have. This may well help him in his composing, that he doesn't think he's writing something dainty, he's writing something that can be, really quite full on. I think is a really great concert piece. Speaking as a conductor, is the Rachmaninoff. I absolutely adore it. It's particularly the last movement's the thing I think is the most absolutely fantastic piece, and it's extraordinarily well orchestrated. I'll probably get very excited and stare at you as if it's coming up soon.
There's about 3 or 4 ideas already that I've got straight away just by hearing that. Just things crossing my mind, like getting to the drum section, and I'm not just going to have the drum solo. I'm going to have sound diminishing into it and having like a little. I'm going to have them hitting the violas hitting. Everyone's hitting them like slowly, just hitting them through that section. So it's really mysterious, a bit more mysterious. I want people to nod their heads to it almost. I think classical music does it. They're scared to just go, I actually like this rhythm. You know what I mean? And I think that's a little bit about what that's just the music how it is. Yeah, it's a totally different world. I can appreciate it because I appreciate music generally. I like, like he says, it's not one black face in there. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you very much for spending some time.
I'm not even with my...
No, it's all right. It's fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
We're here.
Of course you are. Is he your teacher?
He is indeed, yeah.
But tell you,
So you are my grandson then? You wasn't.
By default, yes.
You should see the programme. You'll see a lot of yourself in him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not that.
Every time I see Goldie, he starts off by being extremely positive about how the project's going, but we need to see some real evidence. I'm ever hopeful. I'm quite optimistic, but I want the piece not to be criticised. The whole idea is that he gets all this help and advice. He's one of the most famous conductors in the world tonight. Just fabulous, and everyone's on his side. And I just hope that there can be a really successful piece of music come out of this.
So, I've done my homework for you. Yes, I've done my homework for you.
It's May by the time Goldie returns for his second visit to Anna with his new detailed map. Nearly 4 months have passed since he got the commission, and the deadline for the concert is looming.
And basically what I've tried to do is to explain it all, like I said, all of the things within the piece that I want to happen, which is the finer detail, which is whales breaking on the shore, hybrid times calling onto the land, some whispered text, which is apart from the green line there, which is the kind of chorus text, if you like.
Amazing. That's brilliant.
Did I do good?
Yeah, really good.
And actually, it actually committed me more to the piece because I thought, right, drawing it out, doing that initial shape, and trying to stick with it. And the only thing, and it's quite weird, that when I listen to it, I'm going, actually, this is the best guide for me because it lets me really pace it out. Yeah. And the only thing that's changed is the extension of that point, you know, which I'm really happy with.
So could you like kind of sing to me what happens?
No.
Yeah, I bet you could.
I can't. Then you got these cellos. And it's like little creatures running over rocks and stuff.
Where did the voices, is there a point that you actually hear them singing anything that you need to hear?
Sine, Tempore.
Oh, right, yeah.
On the back of that. Da, 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 da. Underneath that's going Sine. Yeah. Da, da, da.
When you sing these melodies here and here, you are hearing a whole chord, is what you're saying. But what I don't know is what those chords are. I don't know what your harmony is.
What you sang with the guys at St Martin's the other week
was unison.
Yeah?
There was no chords underneath that.
Okay.
I think that you need to harmonise your melody. So the whole melody is...
Yeah.
If I played you the first note of it, can you sing any other note that's in your head that happens at the same time?
No.
Right.
That's the thing about it.
If you know that your melody is this bum, 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 and there are three notes, just literally sitting on a piano and trying which notes, doesn't matter, just trying any notes by process of elimination and adding them to it and seeing which ones you like.
I do not get my head around this. It's the one thing that I have all these things going around my head, and I just cannot, for the life of me, understand. That's not right. It just frustrates me. I really want to kick the piano in and smash it to pieces. It does my head in. It really does. It does my head in. It really does. I can't do it. I don't know what to do. It sounds so naively stupid. I can't have made this much music without knowing how to write music.
Yeah.
It does my head in, I'm not able to play. Even you can play, and you don't even play. It does my head in. I really want to smash the piano up.
One thing I really, really don't understand is you're basically saying that what you're good at is selecting the right thing, yeah?
Yeah.
But how is selecting the right thing any different than, say, selecting the right note, which is basically all composing is? All you're doing when you compose, I mean, when you sang that little melody, you selected those notes, which is the same as composing. I don't see how that's any different.
Maybe it's just...
I think it's in your head, it's exactly the same thing. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, Hannah.
But being a good selector, it's been a big... All a composer's doing is choosing from a selection of notes.
I think it's because being around sample chords for years and years and years and years, we hear one chord. We don't hear the fucking notes. We only hear the chords. Right? So there's sounds that have sounds within them, and they're great sounds as they are, but we don't know what the notes are.
Why does that matters? Why does that matter?
Yeah, because I don't know what the notes are inside of that thing.
But I don't think that matters. I mean, I don't know what half the...
No, but what I'm saying to you is when I'm hearing stuff, I'm hearing the chord, and I'm not hearing the notes. You can hear 5 notes and make up a chord, can't you?
That's because I've sat there and I've thought, right, that one, does this one work with it? Yes, no, yes, sort of. Does this one work? I mean, all I'm doing is that same selection process as you are.
Okay, then, so, all right, so do me a favour. Whatever the melody is that I've already originally done, can somebody just write it down so I can put it on my piano and I know what they are, and I'll try and improvise each note with all the notes around it?
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Okay, I could even get you a series of numbers.
Yeah, just fine.
That's the first note.
Yeah, there you go. Fine, just that for me. Because I'll just end up strangling myself. Because it does get my blood boiling.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, And then
Why didn't you tell me this before, you twats? Shall I just leave me for a second? This is great.
I guess I'm projecting my own fears that I would feel nervous with the scope of what he's tried to do in the piece, evolution. It does a lot in its 7 minutes, and I actually think just by the sheer passion and genuine honesty he's tried to do this with, that it will work. I think I would feel very nervous about a piece that tried to do so much.
We've got this one simple melody, which if you hear it on its own, it's very simple. However, it's become something. We still don't know whether it's going to be great or whether we're so close to it that we can't see that it's awful.
After months of intensive work, Goldie has a map, but at the moment he's the only one who can read it, and it's a long way from a score for a full orchestra. He still can't read or write music, and he has just a couple of months until the concert at the Royal Albert Hall. In the next chapter of Goldie's composing journey, he will have to turn his musical ideas into notes on a page. He'll receive a helping hand in orchestration, and he'll have the chance to try out his ideas with sections of the orchestra. But in just 4 weeks' time, he must come up with a complete score for a full rehearsal with 80 members of the orchestra and a choir of 100. The pressure is on for Goldie to show that he has the music within him, that he can complete the journey from master of electronic sounds to classical composer worthy of a place at the proms.
And you can see that concluding chapter next.
Goldie is on his way to the proms. He's on a journey that's taking him away from the familiarity of electronic music and sampled sounds into the unknown, a strange world of instruments, musicians and notes on a stave, the world of classical music. Goldie, drum and bass pioneer, DJ, artist, is now Goldie the composer.
Dear Goldie,
In January 2009, Goldie was invited to compose a 7-minute piece to be performed at the BBC Proms in the Royal Albert Hall.
I'm really nervous now.
Although he's spent his life making music, he never learned an instrument or to read music, relying instead on sampled sounds compiled in a computer. But composing for an orchestra is taking Goldie into uncharted waters. Guiding him on his way is the conductor, Ivor Setterfield, who's been educating Goldie in the sounds and possibilities of orchestral music.
Now I've got to go and play Fabric. 2 o'clock. It's my kind of music. See you at the proms, kid.
Goldie has had a crash course in the sounds of the various instruments and tried different options for his composition, including a choir and the organ at the Royal Albert Hall. He's been getting advice from the composer Anna Meredith, who encouraged him to think graphically.
Did I do good?
Yeah, really good.
After 4 months, Goldie has a map and a melody. But now he must turn his ideas into notes on a page. He has just 4 weeks to complete a full score for orchestra and choir. Goldie has been asked to compose his piece on the theme of evolution. He's chosen the title Sine Tempore, without time, and the piece is both ambitious and personal.
At the beginning of this chaos, the piece, and I know for a fact everyone's going to go, what is going on? But the key moments for me is when it gets to this point and it starts to build with the text. There's this feeling that I wanted to create of something's going to happen. It's coming, something's about to explode. We finally arrive at this celebration of life. We then go through that celebration and we then we get into this situation where the harmony slightly gets disturbed by tribalism. But then as we accelerate, we go away from the plains of Africa. We leave those plains almost with this camera that pans itself away and just goes through cloud cover, through to the edge of space, into space, looking down on the blue planet revolving. You get to this place where you think, what are we doing? Why are we even, we're at war with the planet. Ultimately, there is a Big Bang. If I'm symbolising evolution, it's just left for you to question, is that the end of the planet, or is that the beginning of a new way of thinking for the planet?
Hey? Oh, you little babies. What do you do, Jojo?
You know, things that have inspired me for this piece. I mean, Goretzky's always been a major influence in the back of my mind anyway. Goretzky's just the soul. He's just I think he's like the James Brown of the classical world, man, in that sense. I think just really beautiful. I think just really, not even that, it's just a melancholy filled with unbelievable sadness, but an undercurrent of such hope. And it's beautiful. The theory of evolution for me is a very spiritual one for me as well. I mean, I think there's two things that happen for me within this theory, which you have science and you have faith. I've always been fascinated with timelessness and time, because it's this place where it just allows you to open up doors and remember stuff. And the three most important things in my life is love, time and memory. Without either one of those things, what do we really have?
What about?
And it's just always fascinating. And I think with the piece, I think that there's two questions. Okay, in science, there is the Big Bang, and there is the Big Bang at the end, or is there? There's this beginning and an end, but there is no beginning and end. No matter what science does, they're never going to find the end. Ultimately, if the planet explodes, it will be the beginning of something else.
Goldie may know what he wants, but he still can't read or write music, and he'll need help with the orchestration and the notation of his piece. As well as his mentor, Ivor, Goldie's working with the young composer, Christopher Mayo. Although some composers still write by hand, many now use computer notation software.
This is like a blueprint for building a building.
Right.
And you still don't...
They can play badly or
you still don't really know exactly... You know what you think it's going to sound like, you know what it should sound like,
yeah,
but there's so many...
Well, that's the fear I've got to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got to work out how it's going to sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you want something like a delay on it, or reverb on it like that, that's the sort of thing that you can orchestrate. If you say delay, we can say, okay, we'll put this in another instrument that's a bit quieter afterwards, and we can write those effects in.
Can you give me the cymbal roll with the crash right at the beginning? So it's right here, yeah?
So same as
bar zero, yeah?
I think you're going to need at least sort of 4 bars of this, but diminuendoing.
That's all I think. It's just going to be big. It's bang. Grand piano there, yeah?
On the first chord?
Yeah.
Piano?
Yeah. What's going to come out of that is...
Sing that again, what you just did. I'm just trying to vaguely replicate the kind of things that you're singing, and...
That's how you change the note?
Yeah, that's it.
Shut up. Getting it, we're getting it.
Yeah.
Yes! And again, I like this. Go on,
Really
go on.
nice.
Love it. That's like a pitch bend for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Pitch bend. You know what's really amazing? We're actually writing music for an orchestra.
In his electronic music, Goldie's used to hearing the exact sound as he works. Although the notation software plays back a representation of the music, the computer can't produce the true sounds. And like any composer, Goldie must learn to imagine the fullness of the orchestra.
It would be easy to underestimate the next bit of work, which is going to be quite serious.
To tell you the truth, there's not enough time to do this as I would want to do it.
To help make this leap from computer simulation to real sound, Goldie will have a series of instrumental workshops. Drums have always played a major part in his music, but they've been sampled and manipulated in a computer. This is Goldie's first chance to hear his rhythms on real instruments played by real musicians, the percussionists of the BBC Concert Orchestra who'll be performing his piece at the Proms.
But that was absolutely an accurate reflection of what is written down.
One thing I'm thinking is, you know the do?
Yeah.
That seems like it's late for me. Now maybe the way I've written it is on, but it seems late. Is that it? Try it a little bit earlier. Hang on. How do we write that earlier?
What's it? Most of the time, all these triplets, it's nice and powerful, you know, with...
Yeah.
Nice and powerful, but you're not really hearing... I mean, I've got 4 completely different sounds here. We've got scope for sparking things out of this pattern. I mean, you could get a few rim shots going and things, couldn't you?
That'd be great. Because it's something I can't really write in the computer.
I also do a bit of improvising around what I've got.
Oh, it was a sweet shot, it's a sweet shot! It's a sweet shot!
Brilliant. That's absolutely amazing.
The only other thing I'll think about with Pete is if we can maybe get a little bit on some of the hits. I'm not sure which ones when we go through it again. It's to kind of get a little bit more definition on some of them. I'm not sure which ones yet.
The composers don't really get the chance to work with us in such detail. But this is lovely. I mean, obviously what's happening here is that Goldie's realising that when it's actually played by the 4 of us, that not only are we bringing it off the page for him, but we're actually bouncing off each other as well. And so these accents that have been coming out are sort of firing us up, and so we're all throwing in a few more, which is great.
Yeah, he could accent his pattern within.
Yeah.
Can we hear what it sound like, Alistair?
Da 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 da.
If we run that in, it just runs over it. Perfect. Oh, let's hear it then. Let's commit to this.
Very much at the beginning, he felt restricted by his inability to read music or play any instruments. So, you know, the musicians, he said, oh, they'll never be able to play that. That was the percussion players will never be able to play what I want them to play. That was completely turned on its head when we actually did meet real live orchestral percussion players who made it come alive. It seems at every stage the most important word to describe the change in Goldie is he's starting to trust more.
works.
It's really man hearing it now, and it's changed just in the last hour. You've gone, you've actually given it a real shape, and not just rigid drums going at it.
Well, it's not a mechanical shape.
It's not a mechanical shape at all, and I really respect you guys for that, because it sounds great. It just sounds.
I thought it was a fantastic session.
Yeah,
I thought it was really
good.
productive. Really.
I think we're back on time. I think we're back on track again.
I feel much more confident today after today.
Not long now, Ivor. Not long now. Not long now, Ivor. Not long now.
We've got more than a map now. Having been quite pessimistic or quite worried a couple of weeks ago, I'm now very optimistic. I think he can see the goalposts now. Day by day, it's evolving, as it were.
Sine Tempore. Sine Tempore.
Goldie has been struggling to harmonise his original melody for the choir. He's used to working with sampled sounds that include ready-made chords. To build up the full sound that he hears in his head from individual notes, he needs help from both Chris and Ivor.
Consistent with everything else we're doing, we're kind of almost sampling it to see if it works before we give it to the choir.
Even on the ends of some of these, if you kind of literally fade the end out.
Yeah, they can do that.
We can do that by writing that in the notation, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Just
But I mean, the idea is completely exactly what I'm hearing. That's exactly what I'm hearing up here.
Okay.
Happy with that?
Britain's Got Talent!
I like what you just sang, actually.
There we go.
The choir will play a major role in Sine Tempore. With the choral parts now written, Goldie gets the chance to hear Ivor's choir, the New London Singers, test drive the transition from primeval whisper to his grand moment of the celebration of life.
Okay, let's try as he's written, Sine Tempore.
Sine Tempore.
Yeah, and if you forget the words, it's on his
Tell me next when you forget.
Yeah. 4. Slower or faster? What do you think the speed of those?
I think the pace should be
random.
Random, really.
Okay.
I think it should be random for the because in the beginning piece of the Big Bang we have this just evolution, and what I've done is before the voices come to some reckoning with man and woman as a solid melody, I'm having it to be sporadic and to be all over the place, so that it just has a sense of galvanising the human voice, if you like.
Crescendo up to this point, 4, 5, big chord.
That's going to be stronger. Yeah. That for me is where we go up and if we just go down. There's got to be this. It's the opening of the flower. It's at that particular point of the track. It's literally building with this man and woman aspect, and that point there we are open and it's full on. Has to be really like powerful, like celebration of life, if you like. I want it to be like belting out.
The problem is mostly the spacing of the chord. The very fact is that it's quite low for the altos. It's not the loudest note for all parts. In fact, it's fairly. Could you just try? First soprano is doing top G. Second soprano is doing the E flat. Spread the chord. Let's have a B flat in the altos with an E flat from the second altos maybe, and then have the basses G, B flat, E flat, 3, and.
Immediately better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Fantastic.
Great.
Very happy. Very happy.
Good. Well done.
It's good to hear it like this because doing that, adding those notes, it's a really good thing. That's exactly that, at that point of arrival, the conviction. It's fantastic.
Good.
Love it. Really good.
Okay.
It's now June. In just a few weeks, Goldie must finalise his score for a workshop for full orchestra and choir. Preparations for the 115th season of the Proms are well underway. There will be 76 concerts at the Royal Albert Hall, and apart from Goldie, there are 10 other composers writing new works, including a second commission for Anna Meredith.
Like that. God, he's a lot of notes.
Buoyed by the workshops, Goldie has brought the first draft of his score to show Anna. As a fully trained and respected composer, she can bring her experience to bear on how Goldie's piece will translate from page to performance.
There's a lot of detail here. I think I was expecting sort of one note here, and I mean there's a lot of very complicated and developed, if you like, notation and ideas, very sophisticated. And I think people might expect that it would just be mega simple. What's been really nice is to see how you've managed to take your textural ideas and bring them out.
Yeah. I'm at the point now where I'm actually got the biggest kahunas because I actually feel that I really feel proud and happy. I think
so. Talk me through what the orchestra trying to do here, apart from the drums. It looks like it's just percussion with just like held long notes with everyone else, and then it takes quite a while with the same just percussion with held notes until here, which looks mega exciting. Whereas this bit looks awesome, where everyone's doing the and that'll be really exciting. I just wondered whether there's some of that instrumental energy you could move, just so it's not just now the drum section, now that that there's this sort of that it's full orchestration rather than just focusing on one section.
I gotcha. I can see it now.
Yeah. And should this bit with the first big chord you're talking about, should that feel completely clear cut in its kind of?
I like it.
You like
It's very much what my music is. If people listen to this piece that know me from my electronic film, they go, "That's you, isn't it?" It's a signature for me. It's just that for me, that's my payoff.
I think you should think about almost like how it's going to look. I imagine if I was to describe to you that at this big, golden, sort of clear moment, that some players are just sitting there, you probably wouldn't want that. You'd want everyone.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's just worth maybe checking with Chris saying, is everybody doing something here?
Yeah.
And likewise at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
You're finishing this piece with this extremely energetic thing, but it would be awful if even your alto flute was sort of sitting there. You might not be able to hear her, but she's going toot.
The main strength has just been his complete energy that he's put into the piece. He's had loads of great ideas, and also a real confidence in his ideas. He's right from the word go been really passionate about his material, and that's the most important thing, that someone cares about what they're trying to write, and that they're prepared to do what's right for that material to make it work properly.
I think it's definitely worth thinking about how little tweaks can give a character. No, I mean,
if you practice at this, I think I'll crack it, but it's from the first go.
I mean, when I write, I'm so bad for not refining, and I tend to find the first thing I do, I'm like, yeah, that's brilliant. Why would I want to change that? And it's really refining is a really difficult process. You have to be quite hard with yourself to check that what you've written is actually right, not just because it's there.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's really hard. I'm totally guilty.
I'll just start again. I'm just going to start rewriting the whole thing.
Why? Yeah, it already. That's why I'm jealous, because it already sounds exciting. It already sounds great, and now you can have fun with it. You can think, actually this tuba down another octave, really going farty, would sound awesome. Let's try that.
You go there and you think, right, and you go there and she points out all these things and you think, shit, it's actually got a really valid point. So I had to go back and rethink, swap stuff over. Because I fell into the electronic trap where you've got something, it's beginnings and ends, and it goes all the way through and it sounds all right. And then there's a danger of not going the whole hog. And that really kind of gave me a bit of a smack in the mouth, actually. So I had to go back and think, right, okay. And in doing so, we've come back with something stronger and even more so. In pushing all the fat in the middle, it made me extend the end because it was so nice. And it made the end get its rhythm that it was supposed to have. I think generally, from the last 2 weeks, cracking the shape and doing the details really worked out well.
With the composition taking shape, it's time for Goldie to experiment. Unable to apply his favourite digital effects to achieve the precise sound he's looking for, Ivor suggests he turns to the players of the Ossian Ensemble, well versed in improvisation, to offer him some unconventional ideas for the opening section of his piece.
So that's the beginning of the piece. And it's
Right.
basically, the Big Bang is the first note, which is the whole orchestra will play as loud as it possibly can for a split second. And then after that, it's this sort of like the falling of the bits away from the Big Bang.
It's also for me to find out what your take would be on the improvisation and how those instruments can bend or move. You know, just give me some ideas. I'm open arms here.
Yeah. What we have in your first version is like carefully written out notes. And if everything is on a sliding scale, if the pitches are always moving between one pitch and another.
Yeah, I like this. I prefer this. It's more dynamic. That's exactly what I want.
You could have like a really glassy kind of sound rather than just.
I prefer this straight away because it's more electronic.
It feels as though some prehistoric man has just suddenly found a cello.
No, I really like that a lot better.
Yeah. It's wilder, rougher.
Wouldn't it be interesting if almost all of the instruments that played fragments at the beginning of the piece didn't play in the conventional way that they play? So the cello never sounds like a cello. The bassoon, it's almost as it hasn't evolved yet. So start, Big Bang, quiet, then increase the number of gadgets you bring out.
I love that. I mean, how do I write that?
The question that keeps coming up is like, how do you notate stuff? And it seems as if almost like a barrier between like writing something that's conventional and unconventional.
And sometimes there's just no substitute for just writing it in words as well. Like
Yes.
people are like, how do you notate that? Sometimes you can just write, just describe on the page the sound you want. And you just literally write a word like glassy, right, like that, and then straight away, it's a completely different sound. It's glassy. Straight away.
I love that.
That's beautiful to see someone's character embodied in their handwriting is quite wonderful.
Best start learning to write music then.
No, I think what they're in fact saying is that don't feel that not being able to write music is a restriction, and I think that all the way along, from different points of view, we've actually made that very clear that it's just your ideas that we're interested in. I think quite a lot of electronic composers regard classical music as background strings. You know, this kind of like almost ambient. When Goldie first started, the horn section would always be something that did da 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 da, and the strings would always be doing something that was static. I think one of the interesting things we've discovered is that all instruments can do a lot more than says on the electronic musician's tin.
I'm really happy that you've shown me the sound of it, and the same with the drums did last week. But even more, I'm benefiting from this even more, because this really is like me having a box of tricks, really.
That's already exceptionally strong concept, and all we're doing is making it like real and textural and more alive for you in your imagination. But as far as your concept goes, keep going. It's really exciting.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
It's Goldie's last day in the studio before the orchestra workshop, and his last chance to hone the score before it's printed and sent to Charles Hazelwood, who'll be conducting the piece at the Proms.
Okay. For the purposes of the score, I think we need to find the words to explain that.
Medieval, dark section of vocal. Then we go to this explosive beauty, the celebration, and the heart, or the soulful.
I think that you should write just those words at those points on the score.
Okay,
your words.
Right. Dark. Buddhist monk like.
Like monks chanting or something like that.
Monks chanting.
So what about this melody when it comes to...
Strong. Triumphant. You get better than this at me. The birth of mankind. Yeah.
I like it coming from you.
You full of wonder. Increasing agitation.
Oh, increasing activity.
Very well. Oh, I had the bag. Pull it from the sky. Perspective. At least we don't have to do this drum and bass. We just play it. It works. I know what I want it to sound like. Yeah. I know that the passion that I want to really, I want the beauty of creation. I want that kind of, this intense beginning, and it just to glide out into this beautiful, we don't know where it's going.
I do think it is extremely intense, and I think it will be more intense with the orchestra.
I've never met Hazelwood, and I've seen him conduct a few times, but what I want to do is to try and show him in the story, because this really has come to me as a story, so I want to be able to lay it down and for him to understand exactly the premise of what I'm going through in that story.
Does it make you wish you were conducting it?
No, I wish that Ivor was conducting it, because Ivor has been there from the birth of the piece of music, which is, you put anyone through the birth of a piece of music from the beginning to an end, and it does have a profound effect on people.
But from the other point of view, because I'm not going to be conducting it, but we all know that, unless we spike his tea. But the interesting thing is, it's a real test that someone else who can come to it and actually go, wow, I can see.
But I don't mind giving it up. It's not like, I trust that. And I don't trust it. No, I don't. I do. I just think it's going to be pretty kind of hairy, really, to hear it back.
So,
The day before handing over his baby, now titled Sine Tempore, Goldie and Ivor get their hands on the printed score.
Okay. Yeah. First score. It's brilliant, isn't it? We actually have our first score, Ivor.
It's brilliant.
And you know what I like the best when you turn the page and it's got... My mum's going to love this.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
All that kid from Eve Town, come for the ghetto, straight in the Albert Hall. Well, done all right, isn't he?
As your first classical commission, I think the Albert Hall Proms is quite a good place to start.
Got to start at the top, kid. Got to start at the top.
And that's the bottom line. In every single bar, you get what you want to hear, so that you get the shape, and the shape goes back to your original drawing, really. You may want it to settle for a whole bar before the voices come in at all.
It's just before it's 11 then?
That's right.
I can't believe it. I can't believe I can actually read music now. I can read it. I can read it. I can actually read it. Well, it's just a different thing. It's just a cluster of notes, but it's effectively the same thing as a block of sound in my computer. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. It's just a block of sound.
You do know the piece in several different ways. You don't just know it from what it sounds like and from what you sung, but you know it to read.
Yeah. What can I say, man? I'm really
very excited.
I'm really working on it.
It's the day of the orchestra workshop, the day Goldie gets to hear his composition tried out by the BBC Concert Orchestra and the London Philharmonic Choir in front of a few chosen friends before the premiere at the Proms.
Look at your score on the podium.
I know, it's pretty mad.
Yes, here we go.
It's pretty mad, isn't it?
Goldie must now put his music in the hands of the conductor, Charles Hazelwood.
Hello.
I'm all right.
Good to see you, man.
Are you well?
I'm fine, yeah. Looking forward to this.
So you're not an old chappy then?
No, I'm afraid I'm not. I'm sorry.
I was expecting to wheel him in. It's the same as when I had Hannah Meredith. I was expecting this ogre of a woman.
Oh, really?
So I was really young, yeah.
Have you got this idea that everyone in the classical music industry is
Well,
really elderly?
yeah, you know, except for
Except
Ivor.
for you, yeah.
Do you know any of Goldie's music?
I do, yes.
bit, yeah.
I know various pieces. Yeah, absolutely. Just around in my kind of, around my life. Yeah, but you see, that's the reason why I'm excited about you as a composer for orchestra, because I like the way your ears work. I'm intrigued by the way your ears work and the way that you build tracks in a normal drum and bass context. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm intrigued to see what happens, as I keep saying, when you let that loose on a bunch of individuals.
This is a piece based on evolution, but there's a spiritual thread that's going through this as well.
Okay.
When you get to the point where we get into the part of the kind of the stillness of the piece, where we pull away from the planet, from the satellite's point of view, and the first thing we hear are all the basses coming in, and people are going, what is that? Well, that's the planet's unhappy. But then the vocals that come into that are almost hopeful.
Right, okay.
Is it the birth of something new? Is it the death of everything
So,
else?
yeah, so it could be optimistic or it could be out of despair.
I think there is an element that must be scary, for Goldie in this particular instance, that normally it culminates in Goldie pressing a button on a machine which replicates what he's practiced for hours and hours. Here, he has no button. It's the lack of knowing what it's going to sound like, I think, at the moment. That's these anticipations. There's a huge feeling of anticipation, I would imagine.
The great thing about today's session is that nothing's set in stone, that it's an opportunity to kind of make friends with this material and then to manipulate it, because there'll be sure to be things for you that aren't coming out clearly enough, or other things which are masked by other things, and we'll just kind of rebalance, reboot, maybe scrub something out, maybe add something in. That's the joy of it. We haven't got to do the gig tomorrow.
It's all becoming very real now, isn't it? It's quite exciting, don't you think?
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a whirl.
With his composition brought to life at last, Goldie, Ivor and Charles can tweak and adjust the piece.
We need to bring them down literally like a whisper.
Do you want to put the sopranos up the octave for this phrase, or...?
Should we try and do that?
Yes. It's dominated by the percussion.
I want to lose the yellow.
They can cut and balance to get as close as possible to the sound in Goldie's head.
Trumpets and C. Can we mark that down to mezzo forte, please?
We're still French. First time I've heard it. Obviously, it's a bit of a shock to the system in hearing this piece that you've spent the last 4 months in your head. But I know exactly what I need to do, and I'm really, really super confident about it. And I think I'm 50% happy. And that's just less is more. It's just about a matter of having the sound coming all from all these different places and hearing how they're interacting and saying, hang on a second, those drums are way too close and they're drowning out part of that choir. So I need to make sure that comes away a little bit to allow the strings to come through a little more. And that's just, this is I'm used to making the record or the CD in my head, getting it out electronically and putting the needle on the record and playing it out, and it sounds exactly the same. The difference is with this that I'm having to EQ manually with all of these different people, and I'm gonna manage to do that. You know, most people are happy. I don't know whether it's a pat on the back just because it's, by default, it sounds good because it's an orchestra, or it's just to make me feel better. But I'm not happy, and I will be happy when that other 50% in my head is satisfied.
Goldie now has 2 weeks to make the changes he wants. But before he heads back to the studio, he has a masterclass. Leading British composer Mark Anthony Turnage, a professor of composition at the Royal College of Music, has agreed to listen to a recording of the workshop.
These are
Slightly changed now. They're going up and down.
Yeah, so it's a different boat, yeah, so you get more texture.
Yeah. So what do you think?
It's great, it's fantastic. I mean, this works all right already. I think you can just do little tweaks, but I think, you know, you wouldn't, if you hadn't had time to work on it and you just played it, it would still have been impressive.
I was kind of like 50% happy.
Well, I think you should be more than that, Goldie, because I think this is your first piece, and I think it's incredibly impressive. Right. I think the structure works fantastically. I mean, that's one of the major things of this piece, that the shape works really well. And I think there's occasional, just sort of bits of light occasionally, and I mean, it's not much.
Can I say how it began? It's Mega beginning.
Yeah, this is great. I wish a lot more composers did this. Seriously, I try and get quite a lot of my students to actually come up with things like this, and you're doing it. You're thinking in that way already.
Yeah. The good thing is, though, I homed in on the things that I think need to be done, and most of it taking out some of the drum pads that I don't really need.
Yeah.
And like I said, giving it a little bit of light in some areas.
Well, you said it. I mean, you know it. It's, the thing is, it's.
I knew it the minute I heard it. It was a matter of just me going through the panic of hearing it and going right.
Yeah, and it's scary.
The fact that I couldn't do it right then.
But I think you know what you want, and this will work great. I heard the piece on Friday, and I was thinking, if I really didn't like it, I might have cancelled the day because I'd find it hard to lie on camera. So I wouldn't have been here if I didn't like it. So, I mean, you know, I really mean that. I mean, it's genuine.
That means a lot, mate.
Yeah, so it's fantastic.
You know, after seeing Mark was pretty interesting because I think it kind of gave me a little bit more belief that the piece is right on the money, really. I told him I was 50% happy, but he's saying, well, you should be more than that. So I'm just really overly critical at this point because I want to make sure it's absolutely right.
Maybe they should hold
With that endorsement ringing in his ears, and now knowing what the piece will sound like, it's back to the studio to make his last changes.
This is great.
This didn't sound that great. Maybe just make
After this session, the final score will be printed. Goldie will be able to attend the orchestra rehearsals, but as far as rewriting goes, he is without time.
Split these 4 parts more traditionally.
There's so much going on anyway.
Yeah.
Higher time.
It's almost like too much for my ears. And the other thing as well, which is scary, is that what happens if we go in and change that entire percussion and we get to the album and it sounds very thin.
It's the 31st of July, the day of the final rehearsal before tomorrow's concert, and a chance to hear how the piece sounds in the vastness of the Royal Albert Hall.
I think in there it'll sound great. It'll sound like a really good nightclub sound system. I feel like Fabric or something, you know what I mean?
I'm holding Sine Tempore. It's Goldie's masterpiece.
I've got 67 guests coming, all paid for by me. It's time to celebrate my music, man.
I mean, I've noticed a real change.
Hey, man, how are you?
A real softening of him, and particularly as he's become more and more confident with the whole process.
Let's do it. Good. The piece to me is how I imagined it from the beginning. I am absolutely chuffed to bits. And I think this piece could not be anything but this. I've had a really tumultuous life. And I think I always try to find this inner peace with music, even though it's been torturous to make. I'm happy where I am. I'm really happy where I am. And I'm happy that I can share it with so many people. Sounds good. I think it's going to be an achievement in that sense of that, you know, this little kid, 9 years old, didn't know where he was, didn't know who he was. It really is one of those things that I could never have dreamt in my entire life. And I'm going to be performing a piece of music composed by me in the Albert Hall on Saturday. That's quite mad.
It's exciting. The piece of music is exciting. I hope that it sounds like nothing else. I think that's probably one of the things I would want for it to be. You know, that it sounds original. I mean, it's a first attempt at a composition in a completely new genre of music by someone who doesn't read music. But to think how far we've come since those early days where all we had was Goldie.
3 minutes. 3 minute call, please. Straight to the thing.
6 months after first singing into a dictaphone, Goldie has arrived at the Proms to hear the culmination of his journey in composing.
Period. Hello. I can't even drink coffee at this point, because if I drink coffee, I'll just fall apart.
I'm shaking, and I hope the public like it. I'm really nervous about it being well received. You invest so much time into something, and it's important.
There's nothing I can do now. It's out of my hands.
That's it. There they go, yeah. I mean, you can always run up there with a bat and say, no! Strings! More pizzicato!
Good luck. Goldie is about to hear the world premiere of Sine Tempore, Without Time, performed at the 2009 Family Prom. As well as Goldie, there are works by Britten, Copeland and Delius, all performed by the 80 members of the BBC Concert Orchestra, 100 singers of the London Philharmonic Choir, conducted by Charles Hazelwood in front of an audience of almost 4,000.
By Charles Hazelwood. I'm sure you're just as excited to hear it as we are. So Sine Tempore. ladies and gentlemen, Goldie.
The piece definitely sounds Goldie to me. I mean, it's got all the things that I would most hope for from him. It's very dramatic, it's visceral, it's quite ritualistic, but it's also got some fantastic, big, fat, heartwarming tunes. I'm willing to bet you anyone who's heard the piece is now going to find it hard to get rid of that main tune. You know, it lodges in there in the most wonderful way. How life-affirming is that?
Oh, man, that was unbelievable. That's pretty mad, that was. It's pretty mad, pretty mad. Good, enjoyed that. I'm glad I got that out of the way now. Thanks, Ira, it's brilliant. Really good. Yeah, I was
nervous at the beginning.
Oh no, I was so nervous at the beginning.
You're quite emotional, aren't you?
Yeah, come a long way, man. It's good.
Yeah, it's just me.
Come a long way, come a long, long way. Done it, we done it, yes! I told you I could do it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I've heard a lot of premieres at the Proms over the years, and few of them go out as confidently as that one did. It had great structure to it, real excellent sonic effects. The audience clearly lapped it up, and it had a real confidence to it. So I was impressed.
Enjoy that?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, enjoy that.
Thanks.
I think the ideas of the piece, its spine, its architecture, were very clearly presented. I think if the piece did lack anything, speaking from a critical perspective, it was the orchestral detail, perhaps because Goldie hasn't yet had the notation and doesn't have quite the precision to be able to decide exactly how he wants to use the orchestra.
It's good to teach your kids to do it, but there's other ways of doing it. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, he breaks down the barriers.
The journey he has come through is remarkable. And he's come up with a very respectable piece of music, which I've played a lot of pieces far worse than that by respectable composers.
I just loved it. To witness the creation of Goldie's piece, to be part of the work in progress, and then have the world premiere. Very exciting, very exciting.
Thank you very much.
I think that one of the gifts that Goldie has got, and one that I think that is one that he should explore and develop, is an innate sense of melody. And melody is what people remember about music. This was a very good start. Do we, for example, remember Beethoven's First Symphony? We remember Beethoven's Ninth.
Changed so much, man. Right. Amazing, mate. Blown away, me.
I am a big fan of his drum and bass stuff. I've got a few of the albums. What's really distinctive about Goldie is this kind of extraordinary dark world he can take you to. And I think he's going to have to listen to a lot more contemporary classical music before he can express that side of himself, which for me is what he's best at.
In a way, it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a piece which was much more sort of full-on all the way through. I mean, it had much more subtlety than that. It felt to me like there was a much bigger piece sort of wanting to sort of burst out. He's clearly got the classical bug now, so it's going to be great to see the way it goes.
I felt like I was the audience. That's some Close Encounters being carried into the space shuttle with like lots of kids with instruments. It's brilliant, but it's great. I mean, every kid out there plays an instrument more or less. So just a beautiful experience. It's just beautiful.
Such influence you have. I'm very proud of you for what those kids got out of that.
Yeah. The general feedback was just immense.
What did they say?
They loved it. They said it's beautiful and very emotional piece of music, a lot of people say.
Yeah.
And that's evolution, isn't it? My own evolution is it's just beautiful right now. It's just really good. And I think that, the amount of people say, well, what are you do next? And I'm like, well, I don't know.
What are you going to do next?
I don't know. I want to write a symphony.